My name's Charles Malki, biologist and plant expert with Eureka Organics, where we grow cool plants. And today I'm inviting all of you to meet me at GROWCHELLA in San Diego at the Walter Andersen Nursery from 11 to 1 p.m. on Saturday, May 4th, 2019. And looking forward to hopefully seeing you all there. You'll be meeting with myself in addition to a lot of other experts from the following companies: Monrovia, Fox Farm, Eureka Organics, Moosa Creek Nursery, Malibu Compost, RZ Nursery, EB Stone Organics, and also meet the author of How Orchards Rebloom with Chuck McClung, and San Diego Seed Company and Tyler Trimbler from Backyard Fruit. The address is at 3642 Enterprise Street in San Diego, California, 92110. And I'm going to be there with about 5 to 10 free seedlings of these fruit that are described as being the world's best tasting fruit. And can you guess what that fruit is? So the answer when it comes to the best tasting fruit, it's not the banana, it's not the apple, it's not the fig, it's not any variety of citrus, it's this, the Loquat tree. And for the first 5 to 10 people, as many little seedlings as I can gather from around the tree, and there's quite a few, I'm going to be giving them away. I'm going to hide them behind the table. And for those of you that have seen this video, come and visit me personally, shake my hand, let's take a picture together, and I'll have a seedling Loquat plant for you. And again, the best tasting fruit in the world, the Loquat. And it's not my opinion, it's actually the name of the fruit. If you're in the Middle East, a lot of people, and in my household where I grew up, as my parents escaped certain parts of Turkey, old Assyria, which is my cultural background, which dates back into BC times, and the Aramaic language, which are the first Bibles that were written in the Aramaic language. The Aramaic language calls the Loquat tree the Ekidinia. In my household, since my grandparents immigrated into the Middle East, they, in the Arabic language, would call it Eskidinia. And Eska means the taste, or in Assyrian or even in Hebrew, Eka is the flavor or the eating of, and then Dinya, world, the best tasting fruit in the world. It's the actual name of the fruit. So the Loquat tree, it's a must-have fruit tree in the food forest garden. Here we are now, mid-April, enjoying ripe, delicious fruit, while the peaches are just barely starting to fruit set. The plums barely started to fruit set. Apples are still in bloom. And here we're gonna together enjoy the world's best tasting fruit tree. This is also an excellent time when harvesting your fruit for those of you that are growing Loquats, and Loquats add a wonderful tropical evergreen feel to the garden. And once you harvest it, the flavor, in my opinion, is something that's more of like an apricot flavor fruit. We're going to be peeling them together. This variety is known as the Big Jim. These seedlings, you can call them whatever you want, because these are the children of Big Jim. So you can call it, I can call it the Eureka Organics Loquat. You can call it, again, whatever you'd like, as the child is not identical to the parent. Most of the Loquat seedlings I've seen planted have fruited with quite remarkably good quality fruit without ever having to be grafted. But again, if your seedling doesn't perform as well as the Big Jim or another, this here is known as a gold or yellow variety Loquat, another one being the gold nugget that's in the same family. If you're looking for a more white variety of Loquat, there's also the champagne variety, and you can always graft those budwoods or scion woods onto this rootstock if you were to eventually transform its flavor, being that it doesn't perform to your liking. What we're gonna do next is harvest some fruit, and harvest time is an excellent time for also pruning your Loquat tree. So we're gonna do both harvesting, fruit tasting, and pruning right now in the next few minutes. So let's get started. Check those out. Beautiful clusters, berries of fruits. And we're gonna open these up together in just a moment. Another question I get asked often is, when do I harvest the fruit? And the answer is as soon as it starts giving color. This particular fruit over here is still partially green near the top and more yellowish in color compared to this one, which is more orange. But the longer you wait, the more susceptible it is to birds getting to it before you do. And again, even the yellow ones are quite sweet. The longer you wait, and perhaps it's worth putting a net over the tree to preserve your fruit, the longer you wait, the sweeter it gets. I personally appreciate some of the tartness that comes with a more yellow fruit instead of the golden. We've got some beautiful fruit. Let me bring those down for us to enjoy. So this best tasting fruit in the world, also known as the Loquat or the Ekidinia or the Ekidinia fruit tree, has been in our family for generations. It was a focal point in my grandfather's house, a important, at least 2 fruit trees, if not 3 fruit trees at my parents' property, and here it's found a spot in my food forest in the home urban garden. I'm hoping you can see how many seedling loquats you can find that are down below, just in the understory of the tree. I'm hoping if I can move a couple of these products, you can capture all of this greenness that's over there. These are all loquat seedlings, and the fruit that were damaged, one by the birds, we're going to scatter again in the understory periphery of the root zone. And you'll notice that I kept a couple of orange fruit up in the tree because I know there's a few of you out there that are gonna get me if I remove all the fruit, because yes, nature deserves to have a taste of it as well. So we've got some fruit up in the tree, and what we're gonna do next, as we mentioned earlier, is we're gonna prune the loquat tree now as well. So let's go and get to that as well. So when it comes to pruning, you're the artist. And again, harvest time is a wonderful time for pruning the plant, as once you prune it, it's gonna go back into the vegetative growth process for the rest of the growing season and bloom again come October, November, December, with fruits for you to enjoy by February, March, April, as we're enjoying here today. When it comes to pruning, you being the artist, you have to decide if you want a more compact bush structure tree, or if you want a very upright and tall structure. And here, our goal is to create more of a compact plant that fits in this very narrow part of our garden. You can see that we've already been training the tree to have 3 primary branches. One over here to the towards my right, one in the middle, and the other one towards the left. And this is the traditional, when it comes to rose pruning, vase structure, open, airy structure that you're trying to accomplish with your tree. The primary central leader is dominating, and sometimes, as in other parts of our garden, we did a video recently on the avocado, that central leader can be so dominating to the detriment of your lateral branches. And so what we're going to do, in order to keep that compact tree, low growing fruit that we can manage and keep control of, and also get to enjoy more of its fruit than if it was out of reach, as these trees can grow easily up to 30 feet without proper managing and pruning practices throughout the year. But a primary time for pruning would be right now after harvest. So here we go now with pruning the central leader back like so. And what we're also going to do with this lateral branch is we're going to keep this branch growing more to the right. This one that's interfering and crowding between the central leader and this lateral branch, we're also going to remove. The next steps we're going to do is we're then going to protect the plant with this product here, which is the Ivory Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard, protection from damaging sunburn, insects, and rodents. You can see here that it's registered material for use in organic agriculture. And as of last week, we're proud to share that we're also OMRI certified. So I'm going to try to bring the first OMRI certified labels with me to the GROWCHELLA event. So for those of you there, you'll be able to buy directly from the Walter Andersen Nursery our most up-to-date products, and that'll also include with the inert ingredients the addition of diatomaceous earth, so that when you protect the understory, as I always call it, the heart of the plant, being the tree trunk and lower branches, the goal is you're protecting the plant from burn and overexposure of sun in the summer and sun scald in the winter, as well as all of those prune surfaces that we just created. We're going to coat all of those as well, instead of using a paint or latex product which lasts pretty much indefinitely. If you get anything on your house 100 years later, it'll still be on your home. But when you put it on your tree, as your tree grows, within 1 to 3 years, you're basically contaminating your soil for a very long period of time. Hence the organic whitewashing concept brought to you by Ivory Organics. What we're also going to do is we're going to feed the plant with the Ivory Organics 6 Macros Plus fertilizers, which give your plants all of the macronutrients that plants need, from nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which is the NPK you'll find pretty much in all the fertilizers, but what's lacking in pretty much all the fertilizers is the magnesium, sulfur, and calcium. And this 6 Macros Plus gives your plants all the macronutrients that they need. And this here, the 11.8 ounce bag makes up to 20 gallons of liquid fertilizer. You can take a tablespoon to a gallon or mix it with any of your other organic gardening practices to make sure that your plants are getting all of the macronutrient nutrition so it can perform to its maximum genetic potential from each growing season. And then I'm just taking the Ivory Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard Protection Against Damaging Sunburn Insects and Rodents, which helps as an anti-transparent, helping the plant retain moisture and help minimize transplant shock. Leaves, stems, and all. Again, looking forward to hopefully seeing all of you there at GROWCHELLA, San Diego, at the Walter Andersen Nursery on Saturday, May 4th from 11 to 1 p.m. Looking forward to hopefully seeing all of you there. And again, I'll have these hiding behind my table for those of you that have seen this YouTube channel, and looking forward to hopefully getting to meet all of you on a one-to-one basis for those of you in the San Diego area. As always, keep growing with Ivory Organics, and wishing you all happy gardening. So here are some loquats that are washed and ready to eat. Some people just eat it right through the skin, just as they would an apple. I've been brought up peeling the fruit, like so. And you can see the skin, depending on the variety, might be a little thicker or thinner, but these peel quite easily. And then we just cut into it. And there's always at least 1 to about 4 seeds, and this one has 2. And you know what I'll be doing with these 2 seeds, right? Planting them to make some more seedlings to give to you guys for GROWCHELLA 2020. There's usually a little membrane that's right underneath between the seed and the fruit. Just pull that out like so. And now I've got the world's best tasting fruit to taste for you guys. So I told you it tastes like apricot. It's also got a citrus tartness as well. So just imagine the combination of citrus and apricot in the world's best tasting fruit. Let me share with you, now that I've got you, let me tour some of my favorite trees that I've got growing here on my property as well, since it's just such a beautiful time here this mid-April at the home garden. And let's just see what's happening with the other fruit trees that we've got going on at the same time as we're enjoying fruits. As I mentioned earlier, these other things are just getting started. Right behind me is the sweet Meyer lemon, also known as the improved Meyer lemon variety. And let's go for a little walk. you come in a little closer, you can see these beautiful bundles of flowers, and there's like little fruit that are happening in here as well. And if you come down, you can see these awesome clusters, followed by these just about ripe Meyer lemons. And just around the corner here, these are the common store variety, also known as the Eureka Lemon. You can see we've got them in yellow, and there's some greens, and of course plenty of flowers as we're still in the midst of the spring blooming season, and the citrus just continue. Check this out over here. This one over here is the Lisbon variety from Portugal. And check out all of those clusters of baby fruit, pretty much throughout the entire structure. So over here, we're standing at the base of the ice cream banana variety, also known as the Java banana. And you can see that that cluster is right there. And every year we've been this will be our third consecutive year harvesting between 55 and 60 pounds of bananas per bunch. So we'll be harvesting that hopefully in the upcoming month or two. And let's continue. So over here are the blueberries. You can see the little fruits that are happening. We've got our blueberries, and then just behind that, we've got our 3-in-1 apple tree that I grafted on one rootstock. Over here is the Granny Smith variety of apple, and you can see that it's covered in blooms. If you can come in a little closer, you can even see the pollination happening here with the honeybee that's visiting the flowers. And for the last 2 consecutive years, we've enjoyed at least a dozen fruit, and we're hoping we get a little bit more off of it as the plant continues to mature. But again, this is the Granny Smith. It has a higher chill requirement than most apples, and yet we're enjoying some great quality and yields off of this Granny Smith apple. Behind here is a reddish green variety of apples that we've been growing in the family since I was 10 years old. So there was no name associated with it, but we love it so much due to the sweetness and tartness. And this one here is also in bloom. If you come in a little closer, you can see that the flowers with its pinkish blossoms that then open to white. And then just behind that is the red Gala apple, which has one of the lowest chill requirements. And then from here, if we come by, is the famous, soon-to-be 10-in-1 fig tree. And no evidence of any fruit yet, but we do expect to enjoy fruit off of at least 7 of the 10 varieties of figs. If you come in a little closer, I just got to share with you just how noticeably different all of these different varieties of figs are, with the Strawberry Variety fig here in the middle. And over here to the left is the Chicago Hardy, and check out the difference in just the leaf texture, color. And over here is the Green Isha variety of figs. So we got 3 varieties of figs just here within a couple of feet. One of my favorites is the Panache, the tiger fig. And then over here, together we grafted one variety of fig. I don't have the name in front of me right now, but here you can see some success coming out of that graft. Another, I believe this one here was our Raspberry Latte graft. Again, this here is being part of the Tiger Panache fig, this entire structure here. Back here is the Green Cadota fig. And here is another successful graft that has taken, which is adding to our number 8, 9, and 10 to the 7-in-1 fig. Over here is the Brown Turkey, and then the Celestial fig. And you can see that they're all basically doing what it otherwise would do on its own standalone tree, but all on, in this case, a single rootstock supporting 10 flavors of fig. Instead of planting 10 individual fig trees, you're able to enjoy the flavors of 10 figs in the area of just planting 1. And let's continue the tour. Okay. And this here is the Haas avocado. You can see it's in full bloom and also pushing out the spring new growth as well. And let me share just one more tree with you. Follow me. So here we are next to our 3-in-1 variety of olive with the Hoji Blanca, which is massively in bloom. None of the blooms have yet opened. Again, here we are mid-April compared to enjoying fruits on the Loquats. So Hoji Blanca covered in blossoms. The 3-in-1 is also the Manzanillo, as well as the Toscana from Italy. And we've just recently, if you guys remember a couple months ago, we grafted the mission variety of olive over here. We did the approach graft, so it's on its own root, grafting onto one of the branches of the Hoji Blanca varieties of olive. So I'll be doing that update in the next few weeks. Just check out these blossoms. This one here had 4 seeds. One just slipped out, and again, we'll remove that membrane that's between the seed and the fruit, like so. Now you've got a delicious citrus apricot flavor fruit. Hope you've enjoyed the tour of my home garden. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you all at GROWCHELLA in San Diego this 2019 at the Walter Andersen Nursery. And again, for the first 5 to 10 people, as many of these little Loquat seedlings as I can make, I'm going to be giving them to you, as again, I'll be hiding them behind my table and just giving those to those special people that have viewed this. So I hope you've enjoyed this educational lesson brought to you by Ivory Organics. And if so, as always, give us a thumbs up. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit that push bell notification to get informed of these videos as soon as they become available. As always, keep growing with Ivory Organics, and wishing you all happy gardening.